20, 30 points a night. I just don't see how Russ, PG, and Kawhi is going to work. And if you bring on Russ, say bye-bye to Trez, say bye-bye to Lou Will, say bye-bye to Pat Bev. Now, one of those guys, you know, they might be happy to say bye-bye to. I thought they had a point guard. Why you need all these point guards if you got a point guard? Now, Skip Bayless told me, oh, they got it. Ooh, he's the third most important player on that team. And they're looking at 2 point guards, not 1, 2. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, hyping that man up like that. Skip, how do I say this? And I don't want to be, I try to be kind because, you know, I said my New Year's resolution was to be kind, not to be as harsh, but since 2020
I couldn't tell.
Since 2020 did what it did to us, I will do it back. Skip Bayless. The Clippers choked. Let's skip.
How many more days do I have to hear this? It's all you got. We got to get this season started. When does camp open? Because that's the end of it.
No.
I'm going to give you until, what is it, December 1st?
No. We got to play our first game. We got to drop the banner.
No, when camp opens, it's over.
Skip.
You're done gloating.
Skip, y'all did.
Opening day, no more.
Skip, y'all had it. So what else do you need? Now, at first, you told me Kawhi, everybody told me Kawhi was the dog. They don't need nothing. Why he want to beat LeBron? He don't want to join LeBron. He want to beat LeBron. Now they scouring the universe, trying to get somebody to do what he couldn't do. And that's take down the king. Skip, we got a dynasty going over there. We like the Grimaldis in Monaco. You know what I'm saying, Skip? We ain't going nowhere. 900 years in the making. Now, we might not be here 900 years, but we going to be here another 900 days for sure. So, no, this does not seem like a good idea to me. Rondo would be a much better fit. Rondo, Russ, Kawhi, PG. Skip, you think that's a good match? You think that's a good lineup? No, you don't.
So, I think I just heard you admit on live national TV that Rondo to the Clippers will be the magic move.
No, I'm saying that would be a better fit than Russ to the Clippers. No question. A guy that he's a pure point guard that looks to get others involved and is not worried about scoring 25 points a night.
Okay. I agree with your premise for a very different reason than you are suggesting to me from across the table. The Clippers don't need Russell Westbrook.
Right.
I admire him because he plays so hard.
I do and love that.
But he is so self-absorbed. He's still too much of a solo act. I enjoyed watching him play with James Harden just because they grew up nearby each other here in Southern California and just south of here in Los Angeles. Right. They played against each other coming up in AAU. They have a depth of feeling for each other that transcends the both of their star powers. Right. And somehow I thought it worked pretty well. Right. Pretty well. Obviously, they went way small. And now there's a report on ESPN.com that both Westbrook and Harden, through their representatives, have voiced some frustration and doubt about the direction the franchise is heading because obviously now Daryl Morey is not running it anymore. He's running the Sixers. And D'Antoni is in Brooklyn. And young Steven Silas is not that young, but he's a young coach anyway. He's taken over. But all of a sudden, it's Raphael Stone as the new GM. Right. And I don't know much about Raphael Stone, and they probably don't really know much either, but they're starting to get a little nervous about where are we going here. Correct. So it was 1 year, and it didn't really pay off any big dividend. Thanks to your guys, they ran over them. And it was a Daniel House situation where he left the house in the bubble and got disqualified. Okay, if I can't bring up the Clippers choke, you can't mention Daniel House anymore. Right, that's fair. That's the last time I'm going to do it. But I do think that was a contributing factor to their demise. But the point is, we're getting close to one or both demanding a trade out of Houston. Yes. Okay. So what? Will Daryl Morey somehow work his magic again and figure out a way to get one of these two to Philadelphia? Maybe. He might. He wants James Harden. I'm sure he does. His whole analytical bubble is based on James Harden. Yep. Okay, got it. And he put an ad in the Houston paper saying, you changed my life when he left. Did. Okay, all right, got it. Revolutionary player. Russ, not so much, although he did average a triple-double for how many years? 3 years in a row? That's impossibly great as a solo act. I'm not saying it contributes to winning championships, but as an individual achievement,
he did that.
It's extraordinary.
Yes.
Whoa. Now I'm going to defend my Clippers because they deserve defending. They don't need anybody except Rondo. And I'm going to dig in on this because I don't care who you want to bring, what other perennial all-stars, they don't need it. Paul George is going to be just fine because he and Kawhi have the same link. They have the same sort of soulmate connection that I thought James and Russ would have in Houston.
Oh, what, gagging in the playoffs?
No, they both grew up in this neighborhood right around here, and they knew each other all the way, and Kawhi said, I got to go get him, and Oklahoma City and Sam Presti said, we will make this happen.
Yes.
They both can defend at a very high level. So let me get this straight, shall we? As we entered the playoffs that just finished, as we entered, not entered the season, entered the playoffs, Las Vegas said, all the odds makers said, the favorite is the Los Angeles, not Lakers, but the Clippers. They were favored to win the playoffs. And when they ran into Denver, which suddenly got hot, look at what they did to Denver. They were up 3-1. They actually handled Denver better than the Lakers handled them through the first 4 games. And then what happened in 5, 6, and 7? They were up 15 points in the first closeout and 19 points in the second closeout and 12 points in the closeout game 7.
In the third quarter.
They're up. They're up. They're showing you. They're flexing their star power and their firepower. They're showing you they're much superior to the Denver Nuggets.
But you had Kawhi, Skip.
They needed a closer, and I told you from the start, Kawhi's not a natural-born closer.
Well, what about
Paul
PG?
George is not a natural-born closer.
What about Sweet Lou Will?
Thank you. He is. I think Trez is a natural-born closer. But what happened? They didn't even want to go to the bubble in the first place. And when they got to the bubble, Pat Bev left the bubble for a while. I don't know what was going on. He left. We know why Montrez left. He had an issue with his family. Okay, we get that. Good with that. But then Lou left to go to some kind of wake, I think it was, in Atlanta, and then we know.
Family friend father.
Yes, correct. And then you nicknamed him Lemon Pepper Lou.
Yeah.
Magic City. So he went from the Magic Kingdom in Orlando to Magic City and had to come back and quarantine. No good. They did not want to be there. And in fact, my man Jared Dudley said 2 weeks ago on a podcast, those boys did not want to be in that bubble. The bubble benefited your guys hugely. You were in the right place at the rightest time. The right place was bubble, and the rightest time for you was a pandemic.
Mentals.
Yeah, mentals. And so my team didn't even want to be there. My team wasn't together yet. There was no unity. They didn't play enough games together because all those, whatever you want to call those play-in type games, they weren't there. They weren't together. And then when the stuff hit the fan and you know what happened and it looked like, off Kenosha, the Clippers were the first to vote, we're out. And I thought the Lakers were going to be out, but no, they were united. And LeBron said, I have got a chance. He smelled blood from the start. I got the mentals here. I can keep my team together. We don't have Avery Bradley because he didn't even ever opt in, so he never even went to the bubble. Fine, we got that. But the guys who were there were really there.
That's what we do. That's what LeBron does.
That gave you a huge advantage, and you lucked into it. You won the COVID championship. Congratulations. You get a cubic zirconia ring for that.
No. See, you see how you try to diminish what we did?
It was fraudulent because it was an aberration. It was the craziest thing that's ever happened in the history of the world.
So let me ask you a question. So if whoever wins the Super Bowl, is that going to be an aberration?
I don't care. I'm only caring about the Clippers and the Lakers.
No, you only no. We got the title. So this is what we're gonna do, Skip. We won the title last year. We're gonna back it up. So if we back it up,
well, I don't even know what's going to happen this year.
Don't worry about what happens.
I think they're going to play home games, quote unquote, with no fans. It sounds like that's what's going to happen. But at least that would be a more legitimate way to have to go win.
The Clippers,
are you going to have to fly and play road games?
The Clippers will be right at home because they got no fans anyway. We got the fans. The Staples.
The point is, the Clippers don't need any dramatic changes. They were the favorites. It was bubble. It bubbled up and bubbled over. That's what happened to the Clippers. They were not invested in the bubble. So if they get invested in the new season, whatever it is, 72 games. Then let's see what happens going forward. You don't need to break up the Clippers. You just need to add one small but very important piece, playoff Rondo.
So in other words, you need another lead singer. Now you got two guys. You got two guys that say they lead dogs, and now you need to bring Rondo.
You got two lead dogs coming off the bench. And again, they got to re-sign Montrez.
Oh, Kawhi. Hey, they was up there, and people at home, they was up there, had a lead. They was up, what, 19 points in game 4? Game 5.
Yep.
Game 5 in the third quarter. And I saw Kawhi over there. Stop the count. Stop the count.
I don't think he was saying that.
He was.
No,
he kept y'all terrible.
No.
You guys
He wasn't saying
So hold on. How long much you said I got December 1st? So I got 19, 20. I got 20 days, baby. I got 3 weeks.
Keep gloating. Yep.
Okay, well, if that's the case,
don't
then
try to
no
sell
more
that ring because
LeBron
it's
blooper
not
videos
legitimate.
either. The ring is legit.
That thing gonna be so big.
Yeah.
Ooh. It'll be bigger like the whole